OG Charlie Franks live on 91 TV.
Alright, so you're from the south side of Houston, right?
Yes, sir.
South side, okay. Tell me what growing up in Houston was like.
Growing up in Houston? Growing up in Houston was kind of on the outside looking in, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people got a misinterpretation of Houston, you know what I'm saying, from the outside looking in. If you was from the East Coast or the West Coast, you would think Houston and Texas was about, you know, cowboys and cowgirls and horses and all that other shit. But Houston was faster than the East Coast and the West Coast, you know what I'm saying, as far as like setting trends and just the shit that we was doing, you know. We was doing the acid wash jeans and the Mickey Mouse shit, and you know, way before anybody was doing that shit. And that's when I was in middle school. So, you know, growing up in Houston, it was a lot different than what people probably anticipated or what they thought. You know what I'm saying? Houston is a player city, and all that gang banging and shit. You know, it's a little, you know, do a little bit of shit like that, but more than anything, you know what I'm saying, we be on some getting money type shit.
Okay, and I like you said, you know, Houston is a player city and everything. I tend to jump around a little bit, but you got your album Street Player ENT.
No, the album name is Street Player. The company is Street Player ENT. Yeah, the album is Street Player. You know what I'm saying? And it featured Too Short, Lil Flip. You know what I'm saying? A couple of more nice features. I just right off the top of the head. You know what I mean? I just can't. You know what I'm saying? Renetta Spencer on there, Lil Kiki. You know what I'm saying? A couple of hometown favorites. Yeah, it's real hot. You know what I mean? Just shot a new video for one of the jams that's featured that's coming off the album, Diamonds in My Douce. We finna go to work on another video, H-Town Fitted. So yeah, the album, you know how it came about, you know, we was just having fun, we was fucking around. I was in the studio fucking with Solo Jemison, shout out to just Solo. And so really it just started from one song, and then it took a life of its own, and we ended up, before we knew it, we had recorded about 6 or 7 songs. And so shit, we just ended up we just kept it going.
And how many features do you have on there?
I didn't use a lot, you know what I mean? I'm from the old school, you know what I'm saying? Like, where it was real cool, you know, people wanted to hear you. So predominantly most of the album should be you.
But you do have some big features on
there. I got some nice features, iconic features. Like
iconic features, I like that, I like that.
You know what I'm saying? The Boss of the Bay, Too Short.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Now, how did you end up linking that? That's a legend, man.
Yeah.
That's a legend.
Well, you know, that relationship goes way back, you know what I mean? Because Too Short and Scarface kind of like came in the game together, you know what I'm saying? And so growing up with Scarface, you know what I'm saying, you got a chance to interact and fuck with a lot of cool people, you know what I'm saying? Face brought Nas to the hood, he brought Too Short to the hood, he brought Tupac to the hood, he brought Ice Cube to the hood. Man, Face, you know, he kind of brought, you know, some of everybody to the hood, so we got a chance to kick it with all them guys and get relationships and shit, you know.
Okay, now, Congress just recently made November National Hip Hop History Month. So they officially passed that. We got our own, you know, we actually, that's big to me for hip hop, especially hip hop history. Right. That's not something that's really talked about a lot. Having the name OG, that means, you know, you got some history in the game.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So tell us some of your favorite memories of Houston hip hop early on from back in the day.
My favorite memories of Houston hip hop, you know what I mean? Like, so the thing is, I did the first 3 in the morning with DJ Screw, right? Me and my partner Q Dog.
Now that's iconic.
That's iconic, you know what I'm saying? And so when we did it, you know, we was just in the studio fucking around. And so when we finished, it's crazy, you know what I'm saying? When we actually finished doing the mixes and shit for the CD, we looked at each other and said, well, you know, what we gonna name this motherfucker? And it just so happened it was 3 in the morning. And that's how I got the name 3 in the morning. You know what I'm saying?
You just made me think of something too. How Drake be doing all them 3 a.m. freestyles. I never thought about that. I'm pretty sure that's where he got that.
It all started in Houston. Drake's whole style is, you know what I'm saying, he loved Houston style, so it's all predicated on Houston. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when we first started fucking around and we was doing CDs and doing tapes, you know what I'm saying, CDs wasn't real big back then, but when we was doing tapes, like I would come to the hood with my tapes and niggas would steal my tapes. That's where the term, you know, watch your screw came from. Yeah, so that's where the term watch your screw come from. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, when we would make the tapes, we would come back to the hood and niggas love the tapes. Niggas used to take the tapes and dub them and sell them. You know what I'm saying? This before just, you know what I'm saying, this was when it was taking off, you know what I'm saying, real big. And so what would happen is my little cousin them, you know what I'm saying, I come back, they'll hear some shit, and they would switch my tapes out. You know what I'm saying? And they would switch my tapes out, they'd put some shit like Steel Pulse in there. They know a nigga like Steel Pulse. And a nigga be jamming on Steel Pulse, and I realized this nigga done made off with my screw. You know what I'm saying? I look for my shit, it's gone. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the term watch your screw came from. Right. You know what I'm saying? Nigga will beat you for your screw tape.
Right.
So, you know, the slab, you know what I mean? The slab, you know, the culture of the slab started with some of the older guys, like my partner Poop and them, and their era started with the Cutlasses and the Regals and different shit like that, and then you had the luxury era, you know what I'm saying, and when the guys was coming with the Cadillacs and shit like that. So in my era, we came with the drop tops with the candy and the white, you know what I'm saying? So me and my partners, we came out and we put that stamp on Houston, and that pretty much became the culture. All that shit happened around about the same time. The screw shit, the drops, the candy and the white, and the, you know what I'm saying, the drink and all that shit happened around about the same time. So that was the segue to SUC. And then SUC came along by it, and then they documented it in music and put it out there and represented, you know what I'm saying, what we started through music. You know what I'm saying?
I want to ask about Rap-A-Lot from back in the day. Because, you know, one thing, even me growing up here in Houston and everything, you hear the legacy. We didn't experience the legacy. You know, there is a new one, like right now, Mob Ties and all that, but when Jay Prince was coming up in Houston, what was that like?
Where you from?
So I was born in Temple. Born in Temple. I moved here when I was 12.
Right.
But even still, you know, at that point, he was still more so behind the scenes, just not. I feel like the name was. I don't really know how to describe it, you know, because I say like so many people respect him, but I like, do they know why they really respect him?
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. Jay Prince, you know what I'm saying? His immortality comes from he outlived all the gangsters from his generation. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of really great street players and street gangsters from that generation. My brother being one, you know what I'm saying? R.I.P. to my brother Dylan. But, you know, it was just a lot of cats that had bread and had money. And, you know, so Lil Jay, he was smart. Jay got into the music game way early in the game, like right when hip-hop first started. Now, I was messing with hip-hop when it first started, but the thing was, see, it was real big. They was trying to ban hip-hop. They was trying to ban it, right? And Jay stuck with it. You know what I'm saying? He stuck with it. And the thing is Face came along for Jay. You know, his brother and them, Jukebox and them, when they did the first Ghetto Boys and stuff like that, they did pretty good, you know what I'm saying? It was cool. They were representing H-Town. It had the CD had some moments, and it was cool. So when they cut into Scarface, you know what I'm saying, Face, him, Willie D, and Bushwick, they came in and turned it up to another level. And Jay, that enabled him to be all the way legit. You know what I'm saying? That enabled him to be a legit businessman in music. And so Jay is who everybody think he is. Jay a real nigga, you know what I mean? He, you know what I'm talking about? He outlasted a lot of guys, Carl Smitty and a lot of different guys, people that went to the feds and people that died, and Jay outlasted them to reach that immortality, to transition into business, hip hop business mogul, and so that's why he has this immortal aura about him, because he's authentic. He's really authentic. You know what I'm saying? He's really, I know Jay from the Rhinestone Wrangler and shit. You know what I mean? His old man, and so Lil Jay is official. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing anybody could say about it. It's really facts. He came from that era. He came from the era where it was really going down, and up until now. And Rap-A-Lot, you got to give Rap-A-Lot they card, because Rap-A-Lot beat the streets and they pioneered the South. You know what I'm saying? They pioneered hip hop in the South. It wasn't Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, Atlanta try to take credit for shit they didn't do. It was Houston that pioneered hip hop in the South.
Okay. Now, I like where we're going with this. It is November. It's now Hip Hop History Month. We're doing some Houston hip hop history. Now, let's talk about the history of OG Charlie Franks and where you came up and what that was just like for you. How did you get entwined with all of these legends at such an early age? Is that just the neighborhood?
Yeah, well, it's the neighborhood, but then at the same time, you know what I'm saying? My brothers, I come from a long line of, street players and, people that was in the street, shit, different shit like that. So that kind of provided a segue, you know what I'm saying, for me. Because, my old lady, she had dealt with my older brother by the time I came along. It was like, shit, it was just already a predetermined understanding notion that, oh, shit, he just, it is what it is. So I stepped off the porch early, man. You know what I mean? I never ran. I always hung with older cats. So I did what older cats did. You know what I'm saying? On some money shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't. Where I came from. It ain't like we came from a silver spoon or some shit. So, like whatever it took to make a play. You know what I'm saying? Get some bread. Stealing radios out of cars, dropping cars, and you know what I'm saying, and going from that to getting it, doing all kind of other shit, the game and all that shit. So, but hip hop was always central in all that, because I always loved the music. I always loved the creativity and shit. So, kind of what happened was I strayed away from it, but then I kind of made my way back to it, because it's always been an affinity between me and the music, you know what I'm saying? So, shit, I got back to it, you know what I mean? And people started, my partners and shit supported it, and a lot of people started loving what I was doing and what we was creating and shit. And so I just happened to have my hands on, my fingerprints just happened to be on a lot of live shit, trends and shit that come out of Houston. You know what I'm saying? Including Sauce, TSF, you know what I'm saying? You familiar with the Sauce?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, they're my nephews, you know what I'm saying? Sancho, that's really my nephew, that's my brother's son, him and Pac-Man, and then Sauce Walker. You know what I'm saying? Coming out in the raw stages of that, I just really did the development with them. You know what I'm saying? And helped them understand, at the time what they was doing, because they was in the streets and they was, caught up in the street shit. I just kind of got them to understand, your music is going to dictate the crowd that you bring. You know what I'm saying? So if you're doing gangbanging shit and you're trying to appeal to gangbangers, like, how is that shit really going to translate for your crowd? So fast forward, we got them on some money shit. Switch that shit up. You know what I'm saying? Some money shit, some player shit. You know what I'm saying? They was already dibbling, dabbling in the pimping. You know what I mean? And they already seen what I was doing. So that they style. You know what I'm saying? And change that mash mode to sauce.
Yeah.
And that's what, And that was it.
Okay. Man, do you do a lot of A&R work?
Yeah, I do a little A&R work. I love fucking with young niggas. Man.
Yeah.
You know, young niggas is it's like, I love new shit. And so the thing is, when young niggas come through, young niggas they got their vibe. They got what, they gonna put their imprint on the game. You know what I'm saying? When y'all finish with the game, this generation of music and shit, this is gonna be remembered. This gonna be y'all generation. This what y'all print on the game gonna be. And I love it because most of the music y'all making is original. It's not a lot of samples. You know what I'm saying? Most of the music that's coming out of this generation is an original vibe. You know what I'm saying? The arrangement of the music and the tempo of the music, it's original.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So how do you feel about the current sound of Houston? Because it's definitely different from, what you guys created in back in the day. There's a lot of influence from that, but the sound has changed a little bit. What's your take on that?
I love it, but I do wish this. I do wish that we could get a little bit more balance. You know what I'm saying? I do wish that, you know what I'm saying, everything doesn't have to just be on the same wavelength. We need some alternatives. You know what I'm saying? We need where's our J. Cole? Where is our Kendrick Lamar? Where's our extra creatives? Like, we can't get so, tone deaf and just want to hear this one sound to where we're not open to hear some artists that's from here that actually can spit that conscious higher level of spit. You know what I mean? So for me, that's what I'm saying. I have an appreciation, you know what I'm saying, for polarity. 1 minute, you know what I'm saying, I'm on some conscious shit. Next minute, I'm on some runchy ratchet shit. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I just would like to hear, I would like for that element to, you know what I'm saying, manifest itself. You know what I mean?
Okay, outside of anyone that you are directly related to or involved with, who are you listening to in Houston as far as new artists?
I don't know, I definitely listen to the Sauce and walk them, you know what I'm saying? I think Ghetto Gospel was one of his best.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? It was, you know what I mean?
We need like 3 more of those.
I wish he, spit a little bit more.
And that's what you're talking about, because he came in there, that conscious
rap. He came in and, you know
and still kept
that's probably one of his biggest records. And his fans could appreciate it.
Jay-Z appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly, because he switched, you know, feel me? So he switched it up. And so, I guess Gas Gang, Lil Jeremy.
Yeah, he been doing his thing.
He got some jams, you know what I mean? But I don't know, it's hard. I haven't found one that I'm just on like that nigga. I done heard his whole project and I'm just blown away. I listen to his shit like Moneybagg Yo or some shit, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, let's get back to your project. How many tracks on there?
It's 11 tracks.
11 tracks. Not too many features.
Nah.
You get a lot of you.
Yeah.
All right, tell me, what's your favorite song with a feature?
I guess it's really Too Short.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. That's just a golden thing for me. You know what I mean? Because you know what I'm saying, I always like that player shit, and then it's like Too Short. So I'm a part of his catalog. He's a part of my catalog now. You know what I mean? So
nice.
That's, like you say, that's some legendary shit.
Most definitely.
You know what I mean?
All right, so favorite song that's just you, that you want the people to really look out for?
I don't know, you know what I mean? It's like, with songs, you know what I'm saying, with all songs, there's always a part of you that you put in that song.
So you love them all.
So it's something about all of them, you know what I mean, that you just can appreciate.
It's like your kids.
Well, something like that, you know what I mean? But they like portraits. You know what I'm saying? So you paint a certain aspect of you in that musical piece. So, like, Not a Day Goes By, I can't lie, that's like one of my, I like that a lot. I like the one me and Kiki did is some street shit, Fucked Over. jealous motherfuckers is dealing with, you know what I'm saying, that aspect of success where you probably won't change, but your success changes the way people look at you. You know what I'm saying? Your successes and shit. So, it's a lot. Sunday Fun Day, that shit is off the chain, you know what I mean? Diamonds in my Deuce in the lack, you know what I mean? The shit I did with Lil Flip. I mean, you know, it's a fun album. It's not really it's a player album and it's a fun album. So it's not really an album that's too serious. You know what I'm saying? It has its moments for seriousness, but if you just want to roll, you want to, you know, and just want to be in a zone and just, that's the album, you know, for you. You know what I'm saying? It ain't too turned up, it ain't too wild, it ain't too, you know, bouncing off the wall. It's just in the pocket.
Okay. I got one more thing for you before we get out of here, because the theme has been, you know, this is Houston, we keep it playing. So for everybody out there who's not from Houston and may not know, how do you be a player and keep it player?
Man, being player is not about, it's not about, you know what I'm saying, it's not about how many bitches you fuck or none of that shit like that, you know what I'm saying? It's just about how you conduct yourself, you know what I'm saying, and your character, and how you carry yourself. It's about having a code, you know what I'm saying? It's just certain shit you won't do. You know what I'm saying? Like my partners and shit, you know, your wife, I'm not trying to fuck your wife. You know what I'm saying? That ain't player. You feel me? So it's just having a code. You know what I mean? Stealing from your partner ain't stealing from a partner. That ain't player. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what it's all about. It's just how you carry yourself, how you dress, how you know what I'm saying, how you interact with people and respect and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what being a player is about. You know what I'm saying? You could be player and have a wife at home. You know what I'm talking about? And have nice cars and do all this thing. And it's just about how you carry yourself. And when people see you, they appreciate you. They're like, damn, boy, that boy, you know, every time you see him, he fresh, he live, he carry himself a certain way. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's about. You know what I mean? You know, in these days and times, you know, it's kind of big because motherfuckers don't have no code. Like, motherfuckers don't care who throat they cut. You know what I'm saying? They don't care who they steal from, who they fuck over. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the reason why we have a dysfunction. We can't get together and put investment groups and shit together because we don't trust each other. You know what I'm saying? And that shit ain't player. You know what I'm saying? So it get back to having a code. You know what I'm saying? Square business.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now,
so I'm gonna tell you some real shit, right? See, like a lot of young cats, you know, they think their investment as a rapper entitles them to certain money and shit, you know what I'm saying? But what they have to realize, and this is the relationship between the hustler and the rapper, you know what I'm saying? The investment of money is worth more than the investments of raps. You feel me? So the thing is, who stands to lose the most if shit don't work out? The hustler. So the investment, when a lot of young artists don't understand that when a hustler or someone makes an investment, and you as a rapper, they just looking to make good on their investment. You feel what I'm saying? And so they don't understand, yeah, when that money come in, the person who made that investment, they're going to want the lion's share because they the one stood to lose the most. And so that's why you say a lot of rappers and, you know, they be upset because they get the short end or they don't get. But listen, you came with nothing and you left with something. So you really won. You feel what I'm saying? You came with nothing. You know, the investor, the one put up the $200,000 or the $150,000 to get you the name and to get you. Now, of course, yeah, you might get the short end of the stick. You know what I'm saying? But you set up to make money. Now, what you do from now with it is on you. Mm-hmm. But that's the thing they have to understand. When you coming with ass, you're going to pay with ass. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So if you're coming to these people with this about this money to invest in you, and you want people to invest in you, you got to understand it's an investment. It's business. They're gonna want the lion's share. You know what I'm saying? And so the player aspect of it is that they believed in you enough to invest in you and blow you up and get that name. Don't go to tripping. Just realize you need to get on your game, get in the books, learn the business, so you can take it from there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I see a lot of young cats, you know what I'm saying? I see them in the, you know, in the media and shit. Man, I didn't get nothing for this here. I didn't get nothing. Yeah, you did. Nigga, you was eating shit out of can. You blew up now. I seen Snoop Dogg talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Man, I wrote all these raps and that. Yes, you did. You Snoop Dogg now. Yeah, you paid your dues, but you came with nothing. You left with something. Now, if you have your own money to put behind yourself and blow yourself up, by all means, that's what you should do. And you're going to keep the lion's share. It's all going to be yours. But when you come into people and an investment, best believe they're going to be looking to make good on their investment.
Okay. And now, last thing, I just want you to let the people know how you feeling, what they need to know about you. This is your sign off.
Well, yeah, you can find me at OG Charlie Franks, OG_Charlie_Franks on Instagram. That's Charlie CHARLIE _Franks FRANKS. You know what I'm saying? You can find me on there. You can find me at www.streetplayerent.com and YouTube C.Franks at SPTV. You know what I'm saying? Got some new visuals, some new material coming out on there. Apple Music, Spotify. You can get the album Apple Music, Spotify, Street Player. That's the name of the album. And be looking for the new single on BET, MTV. And yeah, we got some new shit coming for you actually too. You know what I mean? We got this new jam that I did with Slim Thug and Mellow Montana and Charlene Renee called On Pimpin'. It's gonna be a big record. It's a huge record. I can't lie. You know what I'm saying? It's produced by N.O. Joe. Shout out to N.O. Joe. It's a big record. It's gonna be real live. We did it with a few good men, the hottest promoters in the city. You know what I'm saying? It's real live, and so it's part of their branding, their company, and all us working together. So it's real live. So y'all be looking for it. You know what I'm saying? It's called On Pimpin'.